going to go ahead and just get things started, and we'll wait for others to come in as we go. But welcome and thank you for attending today's business workshop. We've got a really great topic for you today. This one is focused on customized training programs for businesses. And we've got some really cool people here from 3 different organizations to talk about what they're doing and how they're helping businesses. Because as you look around and you see kind of everything going on with the economy, it's very apparent that there's definitely some skill issues that are out there, and that's at the hiring end of things, as well as kind of the upskilling of existing employees. And so in my position as the Director of Business Relations for Heartland Workforce Solutions, by the way, I guess I should have introduced myself. I'm Stan Odenthal, Director of Business Relations for Heartland Workforce Solutions. I get the chance to talk to a lot of employers, a lot of businesses out there about what they're seeing and how they're meeting that demand and how they're retaining employees, especially in a competitive market. And some of those things have been, focused on improving their benefits, improving their pay plans, offering bonuses, things like that. But there still is that issue of the skills gap for upskilling existing employees. And so that's why we wanted to have this topic today, which is going to be focused on customized training programs for businesses focused primarily on existing employees. And so this is all part of our Better Business Workshop series that we're doing with Heartland Workforce Solutions. And so we started this series a few months ago, but the 3rd Thursday of each month we have reserved at 1 p.m. You can check it out on the website that's listed on your screen there with the HWS website under the Employers tab to find out what some of the upcoming topics are. But we've talked about a number of different things from month to month. We've had discussions related to employment discrimination, kind of related to updates within Nebraska as well as nationwide, trends related to employment discrimination. We did a topic on the talent pipeline and what we're seeing in the Omaha metro area. That was last month's presentation. We did a topic on hiring and retaining individuals with disabilities. Next month, we'll be doing a topic related to labor law, understanding, the legal aspects of hiring and retaining employees. And so we'll be having some individuals from the Nebraska Department of Labor from their labor law division talk about that. And so we've got a lot of great topics scheduled. You can check out the website. Like I mentioned, we've got topics listed out there through October. But really, I've got some scheduled all the way through January of next year. And so we'll have engaging topics each month. And so without further ado, I want to introduce our presenters here today. And so we've got 3 great presenters, as I mentioned. We've got Tricia Gregoris from Bellevue University. She is the senior training consultant there. We've got Marguerite Himmelberg from Southeast Community College. She is the Senior Director of Workforce Solutions there at Southeast Community College. And we've got Tammy Green, who has the longest title of all time at Metropolitan Community College. She is the Director of Workforce and IT Innovation for Career Advancement in Adult Education. Hopefully I got that right. So we're going to proceed with things in alphabetical order. And I'm going to hand it over to Tricia to kick things off with Bellevue University and some of the cool customized training programs that they're offering for businesses.
Hello, and thank you, Stan. I appreciate the introduction. Again, I am Tricia Gregoris. I'm a senior training consultant here at Bellevue University. I am in our College of Continuing and Professional Education, otherwise known as CPE. I've actually been at the university for almost 16 years. I have a long history here with everything from academic advising, coaching, training, performance management, talent development, and of course, leadership. It is definitely a pleasure to be here, and I am excited to just share with you about some of the information that we have and how we can help better support you and your organization's learning needs. Moving forward, I really just kind of want to get real. Just like Stan mentioned, there's a lot of information out there about the job market, about talent development, retaining talent, and we want to just talk about what's going on. So what is going on? The world has changed. That's nothing new for everybody who's joined us today. And it's fast. So as many of us likely have felt, what we used to know as the norms of our workforce really is now vastly different. So as leaders and everyone who has joined today, we may be navigating a new reality. So anticipating new needs for the future, which includes everything from your talent development, your current workforce, and what do you need in the future. And many individuals now feel, as employees, that they may be lacking that knowledge and skills today that they might need tomorrow. So most adult learners really start to consider education when a major life event happens. And they might feel stuck. They might feel a little vulnerable. They might be looking at, how am I going to do the next best thing? What's my career look like? And what do I need to do to become the top talent? So a little bit about Bellevue University as an institution. We recognize that the challenges that organizations and their employees face include the American workers facing skills gaps, the affordability of education, the accessibility to places like college and additional education, learning, development, and employees, again, changing jobs every 7 months to 2 years. And as we all know, with American workers today, they're considering job changes after the pandemic has increased tremendously. So even if the world shifts or stops, we know that the challenges here today are going to be here tomorrow. And we're going to continue to face them on a daily basis. They're going to continue to change. So why is that important? Bellevue University for years has knocked down barriers and paved the way for thousands of adult students and adult learners across everywhere to confidently achieve those dreams with college level programs. So if you're not familiar with Bellevue University, we have been nationally recognized as a higher education institution. And our journey really did begin long ago with community interest and the Bellevue Chamber of Commerce here in our local area. The university is a recognized national leader in preparing students for lifelong success with career-relevant knowledge, skills, and while making that all affordable to them. Routinely ranked among the nation's top military and accessible institutions, Bellevue University is among the best online colleges as named by bestcolleges.com and has actually received 2 corporate university best in class awards for most innovative industry resources. That kind of leads us up to, why is that all important? We want to make sure that you understand what Bellevue University is about. We are building and supporting lifelong learners and your organization, in which really, honestly, that's part of our DNA. That's who we are. That is what we do best. The highly innovative approach to learning is evident through the development of our college, the College of Continuing and Professional Education. So really, what is that? The College of Continuing and Professional Education is founded and was founded for the purpose of designing and delivering development programs that can help organizations overcome those challenges that I mentioned earlier. Our unique combination of theory, knowledge, experience, and skills are found here at Bellevue University to help prepare students, your employees, to be really confident performers in their workplace and also take that out into their community. With that, our Bellevue University Human Capital Lab is known as the credible inspirational resource about how to plan, engage, and enhance your human capital. So people are our most important source of productivity. You're all here for a reason. You want to know what resources are available. We have lots of resources right at our fingertips here, and we want to help you strategically deploy them for employee engagement, productivity, fulfillment, retention, and talent development. So how do we do that? Bellevue University works with you to create solutions for you, with you, by you. What does that mean? We develop employees through Certificate of Completion and Power Skills training courses. We drive down costs of education through innovation, learning development programs specifically, again, created for you to meet your needs. We meet organizations where they are through various delivery formats. So those are all customized for you. We also create programs to lower turnover and attract talent. So it's not just about wanting to keep that talent here today, it's about who are you looking for your future. So the College of Continuing Professional Education offers cost-effective, high-value services designed to meet specific organizational needs. We understand that addressing your human capital goals is critical for growth. We intentionally bring in our faculty and subject matter experts to consult with organizations to develop unique programs that will address strategic development needs. We work to ensure that the learning and development outcomes that you're seeking are in fact met. Participants come away with skills that can be applied at work immediately. From the moment they start their first course, their webinar, or the formatted delivery of learning development program, they will be able to apply that content immediately. They will emerge with confidence and skills for building organizational strength through shared problem-solving experiences and very specific application of that knowledge. CPE has created custom programs for corporate and organizational partners, which I'll talk about here in just a moment. The focal points of some of our programs vary widely, and they vary widely just as much as the organizations themselves. So some of those areas of concentration include things like coaching for improved performance, conflict, working with conflict and group dynamics, leadership fundamentals, workforce diversity or leading across generations. We also look at additional customized education programs that include crafting ethical decisions in today's organization and finance for that non-financial manager. So the format is customized to the specific needs of your organization. So our programs will range from webinars, as I mentioned earlier, to an afternoon or week-long boot camp, even to year-long cohorts. So those cohorts could be set up, for example, for once a month workshop. It could be a half day or an entire day workshop. And again, once a month for an entire year. We have a very nice package that's included in that, and we'll get to that in just a moment. How is that delivered? Well, it's online, live delivery. We can do face-to-face, or we can do hybrid. We can come to you, or you can come to us. We will always make space to customize it for you. So let me share just a little bit about some of those solutions that we provided to many of our partners. And as you can see, we have several that we're currently working with, and many more that are not here today. Let's talk a little bit about Cobalt Credit Union and what we created for them. The intention and goal of Cobalt Credit Union was to build teammate competence, loyalty, and banking acumen. So we built two specific programs in order to meet that goal of the organization. The first program is the Aspiring Leadership Program, and the second is the Leadership Pathways Program, which are both customized learning experiences specific to the audience, as well as created with Cobalt specifically in order to make sure we were meeting their key outcomes. So just a little bit about one of those programs. Let's talk about the Leadership Pathway. So one of their programs was, again, designed to be really on the participants' time. We know everyone's busy. So we developed this program with Cobalt and utilized a variety of our power skills and other boot camps, such as financial basics, leading others through change, and business leadership to create a very unique experience specific to the Cobalt employee. It is approximately 24 weeks in length, which sounds like a lot. It is. It's a lot of work and a lot of hands-on experience for each of those employees. It's all online and it's all available through our LMS. The Cobalt employees love this program, and they love part of it just because at the end, we want to make sure that we celebrate all the work that they put in it. So we have developed a celebration upon successful completion of the program that both Cobalt and Bellevue University attend. Another one of our amazing programs that we have is the NHA, which is Nebraska Health Association Leadership Institute program. That program was scheduled and set up to advance the effectiveness of hospitals by providing a quality environment of professional development and support for the healthcare leaders. As you can imagine, this program is so vital right now to our medical field. The Leadership Institute program was customized learning experience specifically created for and with, again, our partner, Nebraska Health Association. This program is pretty phenomenal because each year we have approximately 40 healthcare professionals across all of Nebraska that come together for this program to improve specific leadership skills, enhance their effectiveness in healthcare while preserving their care and compassion that is critical to the quality healthcare delivery that they serve. So NHA is actually our longest program and partnership, lasting over 17 years. It's pretty incredible. We've had a long-term relationship with them, and we continue to work together year after year to provide this program to them. It does offer a variety of specialized participant components, which is important to note. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a year-long program, and this program encompasses 2 360 assessments, one at the beginning of the program and one at the end to provide data. We also incorporated executive coaching sessions to help each participant individually develop their goals and then make sure that they're meeting the application of that knowledge that they're gaining. So that knowledge that they're gaining comes from 10 core courses that are built into this program. And I won't go through every single one of these courses, but I'm going to at least cover a few of the topics. The course curriculum includes leadership foundation, traits at work, working with conflict, performance management topics, recruiting and onboarding included, workplace diversity, and leadership in action. So how is Bellevue University different? You've got just a small glimpse of some of the programs that we are capable of offering. What do you get with the programs that we create for you? In addition to the actual package itself of core content and curriculum, you're going to receive program and employee support. Beyond that, each program has provided participants an opportunity to establish peer-to-peer connections, lifelong bonds, new experiences in and outside of the classroom, while developing their self and growing their teams. So all that's mentioned here is, not to mention actually the skills and knowledge that they learn can be applied immediately. Part of what we encourage is the group of participants to meet on a regular basis. Some organizations, such as Centris, have paired up their participants to continue discussions outside of the classroom so that they can take that knowledge that they're gaining, learn from each other from peer to peer, and then to continue those connections again outside the classroom. And it has made a big difference. So we encourage all of our partners to continue to do programs such as that and to incorporate some form of peer-to-peer inside and outside the classroom. Now, Bellevue University is not just about leadership programs, as you can imagine. So there is so much more we have to offer from a continuing education standpoint. Nothing enhances the agility and resilience of your workforce like soft skills development. So we have a variety of development classes and programs that focus on critical business and professional needs. We also offer educational opportunities in categories such as behavioral science, focus, career skills, and test prep. And this is just a small list of what we have to offer. Plus, we have created customized academic programs for organizations such as Verizon, Home Depot, and SunTrust. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, we do test prep. We do test prep courses for SHRM, and we do PMP test prep courses. Is that important? Because as part of our learning and development programs, in order to help narrow down those skills gaps, we have designed some of this to set up so that we can help you in other areas besides just leadership development. With that, SHRM and PMP test prep courses will be offered in the fall. That is open to the public, but I would like to note, if you had a small group of employees that you wanted to put through either of these programs, we can pull together a closed cohort, so to speak, that is specific to just your organization. We can set it up for your time when it's convenient for you and work with our expert faculty members to deliver the content on your time. So if any of this sounds even a little intriguing, Here is how we help you create and implement a learning program that will achieve your knowledge and skills goals to move your organization forward. We are going to work with you to specify unique requirements that you need for your organization or for a specific team. We're going to then help each other understand where those gaps in knowledge or skills lie. We will work together to create relevant context to your company and or the functionality. And then we're going to develop and deliver the coursework for you. We'll launch the program internally, and we will continue to work with you on every step of the way to ensure that all of the outcomes you're trying to achieve will be met. Each of these steps is so important to ensure not only employee engagement, but really, again, those outcomes. We want to have long-lasting impact and making sure that that is going to carry with them over time. So we do encourage you after some time to revisit those goals that you set forth, the program itself, and all of the learning that was put in place. And this can actually be done with the help of our Human Capital Lab. Okay, so I have given you quite a bit of information at a very short amount of time, and I'd like to just, open up the floor to see if there's any questions. There's a lot of helpful information. It's a lot of overview, opportunities that your organization can do and can find right here in the local area through custom development programs with us. The beauty of Bellevue University really is that we have been doing this for hundreds of organizations for over 20 years. So our purpose ultimately is to guide leaders to invest in their people through learning and skill building so that their employees grow, thrive, and make a difference in their companies as well as the community. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer immediately? Stan, I'll let that for you. Just
okay. Yeah. Let me jump in and just ask a couple little things.
Sure.
So I know that Bellevue has a great presence, not only at their primary campus here in the Omaha metro area, but also across the state of Nebraska. I just was wondering, kind of, with this side of things, with the customized training side of things, do you have the capacity to serve businesses outside of the Omaha metro area at some of those other locations, or even beyond Nebraska? I mean, you mentioned webinars and things like that. Do you work with businesses all over the place?
That's a great question. Yes, we do. Currently, on our logo sheet earlier, Taylor Morrison is a more recent organization that we've been working with. And they are actually located in East Coast, West Coast, and South. So we work with them and have developed a customized leadership program for their organization. We do that and deliver it all through Zoom. And that is actually a 12-month-long program.
And then just a follow up to that too, as you're talking about working with small cohorts and small businesses, is there, a size of business that's too small? If an employer only has, 3 or 4 individuals that may need, a certain type of training, is that still a possibility?
Absolutely. The size of the organization, honestly, will not have any, we'll adjust. I'll say that. We will adjust. We will accommodate businesses, and we will provide customized experience based off of the organization and not the number of participants.
And have you seen any sort of increase or decrease because of the pandemic? I mean, are companies investing more in this type of training, or is it about the same as always?
We actually are seeing an increase, and an increase that has been steady since the pandemic started. So we are working with each, again, organization individually, trying to develop what their needs are. And again, we work with multiple industries. So we work with construction organizations to healthcare. So we will find the experts and we adjust and accommodate. So, don't be afraid to call and inquire or ask questions. Even if you're like, I'm not really sure what they could do for us. Sometimes it's just a matter of having that conversation to walk through what those needs are and then letting us become your learning solution architect. I will help develop what you're looking for and narrow it down. Even if it's a phased approach, we can do that as well.
Cool. And so you mentioned, calling to get started. What are the steps to just get started with things? Is it as simple as a phone call?
Yes, it is. And thank you. That was a great leeway into my contact information. You can email me directly. You can email cpe@bellevue.edu. And I'm happy to just have an initial phone call with you. We can meet in person through Zoom. I am flexible. And that's all it takes is a quick phone call to get us started.
Cool. And I didn't want to take up all of the questions. Did anybody else have any other questions for Tricia? All right. Cool. Well, thank you, Tricia. And I guess we'll move on next to Metropolitan Community College. And we've got Tammy Green here to present. And so I will hand it off to her.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Hang on one second, and I will get switched over. It's good to see everybody, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to kind of hear about our programs and maybe explore some ways that you can connect with our teams here at MCC and also, of course, at Bellevue and Southeast. So one of your main way of connecting here at MCC is really, it's actually through our Workforce Innovation Division. At our Workforce Innovation Division, that is really our incubator for working with businesses and linking them to our students here at the college. The other thing about it is it really does connect. We look at employment as a pathway. So from connecting people, not only incumbent workers, but also making sure that we can connect them to training and into employment. This is the Center for Advanced and Emerging Technologies. If you have not visited one of MCC's locations, we are located at the Fort Omaha campus, which is on the corner of 30th and Sorensen. And this is a great picture of where we're located. Within this area, we have incubators and we have training programs that range anywhere from our professional development training programs through IT, through the trades, and through even research and design and prototype and design labs. So it's kind of a great place to get connected. And if you haven't had a chance, we'd like to give you a tour. Also, one of the things to let you know, it provides partners with innovative and customized learning solutions. And we utilize cutting edge technology in addition to supporting individuals with continued education and career development opportunities. Really, our focus is, in layman's term, is to bridge the skills gap between education, technology, and the workforce. So really what we focus on is fulfilling that work to employment pathway. Obviously, you know a lot about the trends. You experience the trends every single day. Nearly 67% of Omaha area businesses stated that it was difficult to find workers, even more now after the pandemic. And one of the things that we focus on is we don't want you to just find workers. We want you to find qualified workers and also keep the employees that you currently have. These are some of our business partners, just to give you an overview. Keep in mind, we work with a lot of business partners, but this is just to give you an idea of some of the customized training programs that we've developed, and also the career to employment pathways that we have developed with our business partners. Just to give you a couple of examples, one of the most recent partnerships that we have is with Tyson. We have a partnership with them for both our Council Bluffs area, for their Council Bluffs business, and also for their Millard site. And there's two concepts with that. One is to help train individuals that are currently employed and to provide upskilling opportunities. So really the idea is let's take some of our employees who are currently in entry-level positions, and let's customize a training program so that they can advance in their opportunities and advance in employment opportunities, which means higher wages and a more skilled employee, and also a very dedicated employee. Another one that we'll talk about a little bit later is with Turner Construction. But keep in mind, we have so many partnerships all the way from Lyman Ritchie and the Selden Company, OPPD, MUD, and all of those have range from either also CDL certifications to our project management to our code school. So it really does run the gamut. One of the focuses we do with our business partners too is we serve as the connector into all of the training programs that are offered at MCC. And so keep in mind, when we say all the training programs, it really does mean the whole gamut from the call center to and business and leadership to culinary arts to CDL and truck driving to automotive to all of that is connecting individuals' training programs to meet the needs of your business. Underneath WID, or the Workforce Innovation Division, there are really 5 areas of concentration. One of those is corporate training. That's where we do customized training programs that meet your needs internally. Usually that means that we're training individuals that are already in your business. Another area is our integrated education and training programs. We have within our adult education program over 2,500 students that come through our programs regularly that are not only looking for employment, but are also looking for opportunities to grow in training. And so we have that connection to fulfill your employment needs on the front end and also to provide your training needs so that they can continue that pipeline into employment. And that's where our career advancement and the career placement program comes in, is that program also works with individuals and students to prepare them for your open positions. We also have funding available to help support individuals as they're going through the training program. So not only do we have contracts that we can work out for your current incumbent employees and employees that are working there, but then we also have funding to support and train your potentially new employees. And then also we specialize in research and design in our prototype design lab. We engage with business partners who are looking for opportunities to, maybe they can't recreate an entire R&D department within their business or their corporation. And that could be anything from our large partnerships with large corporations or even small businesses that are looking at doing research and design so that they can improve their product or they can improve systems within their business. A perfect example with one of those partnerships would be with Fiserv. We have worked with them to they have a whole research and design department. And one of the things that they pointed out was it costs a lot less for them to be able to reverse engineer a part that they may need to fix one of the machines than it would be to absorb the downtime and also the cost of having a part shipped in. And so a lot of times they will reverse engineer a part so that it cuts down on the downtime, employee downtime, and it'll keep them up and running a lot quicker. Oh, and it also costs a lot less for them to design their own part and create their own part than for them to actually have to wait for it. So that is another area. In our prototype design lab, we have a 9,000 square foot research facility that is used by business partners. And please interrupt me if you have questions or you want me to take just a moment to explain something a little bit more. In our career advancement program, Lindsay Gibbs, she's our manager of our career advancement team. Within that team, we focus on career skills. working closely with our corporate partners, community organizations and municipalities to identify community workforce needs, open positions, and relevant training solutions to align individual skill sets directly with the in-demand career opportunities. Individuals undergo training and career coaching to successfully and quickly transition into your open positions. And we are here results driven. So right now we're working with actually a little over 300 business partners. And we have actually, in reality, we have over 1,500 business partners. However, you know, that engagement is a tiered engagement process, and there are about 300 business partners in which we have developed those pathways with. We also have completed over 26 job skill alignments, and basically Lindsay's team is skilled at going in and understanding your jobs and your open positions and being able to analyze the skills and what levels of performance a person needs to be at in order to be successfully employed at your job. And that can range everything from construction, all the way construction, IT, production, culinary arts, all the way through basically every industry, including healthcare. I almost forgot about CHI. So far, we've had 500 students get jobs in the past 3 years, sorry, through our gap assistance program and also other funding sources. We have 3,754 individuals in our community that have completed the National Career Readiness Certification. But what's really important about that certification is that our career coaches are skilled at understanding when an individual completes that certification, how that directly lines up with your open positions, and identifying when an individual is ready for employment at your open positions. Because of our career advancement team and our ability to align a person's skills with the actual job, we are at a 94% job retention rate 6 months after post-hire. So that means 6 months after they first get hired, those individuals are successfully employed at your job, and they tend to be the high performers within that industry.
Hey, Tammy, could you talk a little bit more about, I'm kind of curious when it comes to that job skill alignment thing and being able to go in there and recognize the skills and the levels to successfully be able to be employed and all of that fun stuff. Is there like, is it a basic form that's utilized, or is it kind of some software, or how does that work so that you're able to cross all different industries and actually be able to come away with that analysis?
Thanks, Dan, for asking. So basically, our job skill professionals are trained in a process called job profiling and job analysis. So basically what happens is our job profilers come in and they analyze so basically they'll analyze the job. So let's say, for example, it's an IT job I'll take code school, for example. So it's an IT position for data. So they'll go in and they'll analyze the tasks that an employee needs to complete. Once they analyze those tasks, then they're skilled at analyzing what levels of performance the individual needs to be able to perform those tasks at. And in order to find out what tasks are needed, they will look at job descriptions. They will analyze the subject. They will meet with subject matter experts. Those are the people who are actually doing the job, and then they will be able to determine at what performance level a person needs to be at, and then they align those performance levels with the skill sets of the National Career Readiness Certification.
And I'll put in a quick plug for the National Career Readiness Certification, because We at HWS and MCC also receive a lot of funding from the city of Omaha to help promote that program. And basically anyone that lives in Washington, Douglas, or Sarpy counties that's interested in taking that assessment, we can get them through that assessment free of charge, basically. So.
And Lindsay Gibbs manages that process, and she's in our meeting today. So Lindsay, if there's anything you wanted to add to that, please feel free to chime in.
You're killing it. You're doing an awesome job. Keep moving, grooving.
Apparently I brought a cheerleader too, so that's how I roll. And the other component that I wanted to share with the team is integrated education and training. That connects directly with our adult education program. The integrated education and training program, we call them IETs. They work closely with individuals to ensure they have both the skills and training support necessary to be successful in their training program and successful in employment. And again, that speaks to, we have over 2,500 students that come through the program every year, and they receive support and education. Oftentimes, these individuals could be our language learners, or they're also, they may have some basic skills that they are needing to gain in order for them to not necessarily be successful in employment, because most of the individuals or students in this program are already employed, but really to advance in employment in your open positions. Again, our focus is that skilled workforce. We want to make sure that you have a skilled workforce. There are 3 components, actually there's 4 that we are looking at. There's 3 that are required though. One of them is adult education and literacy activities. So basically that is, we provide basic education. If a student is lacking skills in trigonometry and they're going through a program that is requiring that, then we're there to help teach those skills so that they're successful in the training program and a successful employee. And also we find frequently it could be English language barriers. So in our CompTIA program, we realized that over 50% of the students in on our A+ certification or our CompTIA programs, they're realizing that over 50% of those students are English language learners. Well, they're very skilled employees, but being able to, they may be lacking some of the professional English language skills necessary to be successful and complete the certifications, or also to bridge over into successful employment within your businesses. And so we're there to help with that. We also do workforce preparation activities. We also have workforce training for a specific occupation or occupational cluster. And what basically in layman terms is, that's the technical education. So you have an instructor who's teaching everything from the career services or the leadership training for project management or pharmacy tech or veterinary tech, or all of the different gamut of programs, along with a basic skills instructor. And then the reason why the 4th is there is the first 3 are required components, but the 4th is so essential, and that's our link to you and our business partners. Honestly, for us, we have looked at MCC and WID, we have completely flipped training on its head, honestly, and we do start with the business partners. We start with your needs, and we start with identifying what you're needing to, so that you have successful employees who are currently working there, and so that you have successful new employees that stay with you for a long time. I did mention this, and I do want to make sure that we're able to fully describe all of the programs that we have, but then also make sure that we have time to hear from Southeast. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that we have GAP and SNAP employment and training dollars that are really designed to help support the costs for an individual, the training costs, so that they can complete the training. Some training programs are quite costly, as you guys know, to run, and we want to alleviate that cost for individuals who are looking to get employed. A recent program that we're running right now is CDL. That's a hot training, a hot need in our community for individuals. And right now, going through that training program, they're engaged in what we call integrated education and training so that they complete the program. We have gap funds that are available to help cover the costs of that training. And then we have business partners that they'll be meeting with actually next week to be hired immediately upon completion of their CDL training. Again, as we're looking at corporate training for customized training within your business, that's our corporate training team. MCC partners with corporations and businesses, bringing industry to campus and viable training options to employers. So we basically customize training using a couple of techniques. One, we can look at either looking at current certification programs that you recognize within your business that you need individuals to go through in order to be successful. Those individuals could be currently employed, looking at upskilling. For example, our Code School program is a great example of a partnership with current business employers. Mutual of Omaha is one of our major partners, along with others. And basically, they send their employees through our Code School training program. They're currently employed with Mutual of Omaha at various positions throughout the company. They go through the Code School program, training program, and then they advance in their career opportunities at Mutual of Omaha. We are, again, I can't mention this enough, we are results driven, so we really do look at positions and partnerships with businesses that are, really needing training opportunities for their employees, but also it's leading to high wage, high skill, and high demand positions. We've had over 4,124 individuals trained in our under WID, 300 corporate trainers, and that's WID as a whole, so that encompasses all of our programs. And then we work at workforce training programs in high demand industries. That's from Code School, certified project management, IT and cybersecurity, fiber optics, data center, leadership training, transportation, team building, and on and on and on and on and on.
And I just was going to mention, that's not a stock photo either. That's like the cool technology you've got available on campus there too.
Absolutely. And we love to do tours. And as you start that partnership, we do a tour, you get to see our facilities, but keep in mind, it's not just this facility. We also do training programs at all of our main campuses and also on site. Turner Construction is one of those examples of bringing the training program to the work site. The other portion is we do corporate online as well. So we have the in-person training, but then we also have corporate online opportunities for individuals. So we can also just design training programs that meet your online training needs. Some of our business partners find that corporate online partnership easier because the employee can, a couple of ways, they can be in the classroom and they can engage at that site remotely, or they can also engage in their training program virtually at their own pace and complete it through customized training modules and LMSs. And then the other last piece that I did want to touch base on just briefly is our research and design with our prototype design lab. It is a 9,000 square foot facility that we would love for you to come engage with us and our students. And and everything here is contextualizing their training program, if it is through our prototype design degree program, or you can bring your own business here to do your own R&D. If you're a small business and you need everything from 3D printing to being able to do your own t-shirts, to even do laser cutting, we have that available for you. We have CNC machines that help take it from 3D into a product and reverse engineer things. So we would love for you to join us in those conversations as well. I don't want to cut anybody off. If you have any questions, I would love to answer those and still give Margarita an opportunity to present. This is contact information, my contact information, Lindsay Gibbs, who's our manager of career advancement, and Shannon Garcia, who's our manager of our adult education program.
All right, cool. Thank you, Tammy. And yeah, please reach out to Tammy if you have any questions or are interested in a tour or any of the getting things started with your business. So I'll hand it off to Marguerite now to talk about Southeast Community College and all of the cool things that they've got going on.
Well, thank you. And I have to first say, I really appreciated hearing from Bellevue and from Metro about the exciting things that are going on at their colleges. And a couple of things that really resonated with me was just the discussion about the lifelong learning. And let me just get this shared first so I can focus on that. Okay, are you able to see it okay now? One of the things that was mentioned was the lifelong learning and upskilling workers, and that really resonates with me because we're really seeing a really unique time, I think, in workforce development and skills development, and the roles your community colleges, Bellevue, higher education plays as partners in the community, I think has never been more important. So for businesses and industry to be really plugged in and to make sure that their needs are known, I think is incredibly important. For those who aren't familiar with Southeast Community College, this is just a snapshot of our service area. And our role is really part of our strategic plan with our president, Dr. Paul Illich, that part of our goals are to expand continuing education opportunities based on community and employer needs. That's a critically important part of our mission. In our continuing education division, that's where Workforce Solutions is housed, and you can see some of the other departments that are part of our division. And in Workforce Solutions, I just want to kind of break out some of the things that we do and that might be really important to businesses. First are our public enrollment classes. So for a small company that has maybe 1 or 2 employees that they need to upskill, it could be cost prohibitive to do customized training. So we do try to really focus on offering things that if an employer wants to send 1 or 2 employees at a time, they can do that, and we change those up based on the needs that we're hearing from the communities that we serve. We also offer continuing education courses. So for healthcare professionals, for electricians, for example, who need continuing education to maintain licensure, those are the kinds of things that we offer. They can also be offered as a custom offering for a specific company. So those are things that we do as well as offer them as public enrollment. And then before I even get to this, one of the things I neglected to even think about until a colleague reminded me that this is coming up, we partner on a few conferences, and one that's coming up in October is the Cybersecurity Conference. This is in partnership with the state of Nebraska. And this is something a topic that's important to not just big businesses and organizations. It is really important to everyone to understand what they can do to maintain the integrity of their electronic information and communications. My sister works for a company that had a ransomware attack, and it was absolutely devastating to their company. Even though they had some of the things in place, there are so many more things that they can do to improve. So that's going to be taking place in October. Really encourage any business and organization to be plugged in with that. Now, our customized offerings, we can take any of the things that we offer as public enrollment and deliver that on site exclusively for an organization, or we can use one of our facilities in our 15 county service area. But to give you an idea of some of the things, these pictures represent some examples of the types of things that we do. In terms of computer and technology, we are a partner to deliver Microsoft Office training for the state of Nebraska employees. And as many of you are aware, Excel is really becoming extremely popular, especially intermediate and advanced levels, as people are working with databases and trying to wrap their heads and manage a lot of information. Excel's often one of the first places that they're really looking at getting a little more skills in. So we offer those exclusively to the state of Nebraska. When COVID hit and we couldn't offer them in the face-to-face fashion that the employees preferred, we had to pivot, and we developed a live online delivery system in collaboration with the state of Nebraska, so we could continue meeting their needs without skipping a beat. We did that with their leadership development also. We offer a core piece of the state of Nebraska's really robust leadership series. The second picture is an example of the high demand, low supply skills that many employers are fighting for. One example in Gage County, we had an employer who was not able to get the skills that they needed for CNC, wanted to upskill. We did not have lab capacity available and close by at the time that they would ideally needed it. So we had to get creative. We did a flip the classroom sort of training where we had some online modules that the employees could take. And then we had face-to-face training that was really allowing those employees to have a deeper dive with that content. And then we provided a boot camp where we came into our Milford campus and they rolled up their sleeves and they applied all of those things that they'd been building toward to accelerate their learning in that high demand skill. The bottom picture is an example of our leadership development class. Oftentimes a company may want to come in and preview our leadership series, and here's an example of where it was done by a grocery chain. They came in, they liked the delivery, they liked the instructor and facilitator and content. They wanted to add and modify some things specific to their cultural needs. So we did that and delivered that over a period of days to a number of employees throughout the region. We also really try to provide, be a resource to employers on where else can they get resources or information that may be helpful to them as they're trying to upskill or deal with the workforce skills shortages. So this is an example of a work at Nebraska. This is all Nebraska Department of Labor services that we are offering as a free service. And this is also offered at our learning center communities in our service area. So if somebody wants to come in and learn about all of these things for their business, they can, or they can register online for something that's of particular interest to them, such as the apprenticeships or the worker training grant, which is really popular with a lot of our businesses to help provide some additional funding for the training that they might need. And Tammy did a really good job of explaining some of the needs that are evolving now, not just for meeting a specific need of businesses, a business, but maybe a broader need. This is an example during the COVID situation. We had a number of employers that said, we really need a specific short-term production welding class. And we were able to talk with a group of employers, all connected via Zoom, to understand what are their needs, what is the demand, wrap our heads around that demand. And we offered then that production welding course that was open to a number of employers in multiple counties. And we've offered one, and we're looking at offering our second one. The first one was a bit of a challenge because the COVID supply chain issues impacted our ability to acquire metal for welding. And I don't know if that was a case for any of my counterparts, but that certainly was for us. So I'm hoping that's going to be calming down here in the near future so that we can offer more and not at the higher prices that we're seeing now. This is another example of construction industry representatives who are all working in the concrete industry. And they came to us again looking for specific skills training in concrete finishing. This is a project that is immediately underway. So again, especially if businesses and organizations have a common need, it's great for them to come to their higher educational partner and express that need, because again, with those numbers, you know, all those voices can really make a difference in terms of leveraging resources and leveraging an understanding of the level of demand and in making things happen. And then opportunity populations is a name that was coined by the US Chamber Foundation to really acknowledge that we have some underserved populations that we really need to be paying attention to and getting into the workforce. So this is something that we are really looking at a lot more closely to see how we can work with some of the underserved populations to help get them into the workforce more quickly and in the areas that are in high demand for our employers. This is another example, and I couldn't help but sing that one of the wonderful partners we are working with here, Clay Naff from Lincoln Literacy, is on board. And this is an example of what happened right during the CARES Act funding. That was a great opportunity for the community colleges to receive funds that could be given out for scholarships. We had a very narrow window of time to offer that. Well, through that process, which was a great opportunity, we also found that there were some individuals in the healthcare fields that really struggled with some of those classes. And it was for a variety of reasons. They either needed more support, they weren't fully prepared for the rigor of the classes, they had some other life issues that were a challenge. And this shows us getting together with some of our workforce partners who offer outstanding support services in addition to what we provide at our college, to see if we can find a greater way to wrap around those services. So as that student has a need, we can connect them to the right individual, get them the support they need much more quickly and into that workforce quickly. We are still working, as Clay's nodding his head, we are still working with that. We're getting closer to a solution to create the connections that we're really hoping to make happen. But again, this is an example of how we are working with our great partners in the community to help benefit not only individuals, but those businesses and organizations that are really needing those people with those skills. So that's really my quick snapshot of information. I will be sharing with Stan my contact information, so if others want to get in touch with me, I invite them to do so. And I just really thank you for the time, and for my colleagues who are also in the higher education field for the great work that they are also doing for workforce. And I'm open to any questions.
And I was going to say, we're a little bit over time, but I just wanted to ask one real quick question to Marguerite. You mentioned the cybersecurity conference. Is the registration available already online? And is there a cost associated?
It's out now, and I can send you that link.
Okay.
So that you can send that out. I really encourage people to take advantage of it. They're doing a couple paths. One is an online and one is a face-to-face path. Last year was the first time we were completely online because of COVID, but we're trying to get more people in. But I do encourage people to spread the word on that, because that is so important right now.
Is there a cost associated with registering?
There is. It's fairly minimal, and their early bird registration is up now. So it's less than $100 for those who are attending the conference in person, less than $100 for a full day. So it's a great value for the great information. And the individual that, and I just can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the keynote speaker is the CIO with McAfee. So I know he's going to have a great deal of information to share, you know, in terms of how we can all protect our businesses and organizations.
All right. Are there any more questions for Marguerite? Cool. Well, I want to thank everybody for their time today. I certainly learned a lot, and just want to continue to promote, you know, upcoming workshops. Next month, we will be having, you know, the workshop related to staying in compliance with worker rights. And so again, the third Thursday of each month, Heartland Workforce Solutions is hosting these business workshops. All of this information will be posted online. The recording of this event will be there as well, along with the PowerPoints. And so you can also go back and look at past events, past workshops, and see what's there and watch those things. So again, thank you to Bellevue, to Metropolitan Community College, to Southeast Community College for the preparation, for all of the great things that you do. And yeah, thank you again.